Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to RetroIsland.com. The only site for everything retro. The Retro Island Network for everything retro. RetroIsland.com. Gentlemen, and welcome to another I Got Gameplay. Yes, returning as host tonight is Mr. Maturity, Mr. Sexiness, the man, the myth, the legend, the nerd genius himself, of course, Michael Burhan, and I'm back with piff and vinegar and biscuits and full of Chinese food. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be I Got Gameplay. This cannot be the show of gaming without the man, the myth, the legend, the Exis Gaming podcaster himself, and a man full of gummy bears. He is Mr. Xander Scullion.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be late coming to the show because I was stuck at the store buying gummy bears. Yeah.
So what an excuse to be late for, buying gummy bears. He must have had, like, a sweet tooth that badly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Also, speaking of a sweet tooth, we have Mr. Rose-Colored Reviews himself. He's so rosy, his face goes red when he tries to breathe. He is Mr. Travis on Radio Goss.
And not only will my cheeks go rosy with all that stuff, I also just nosh on a bunch of Sour Patch Kids. I'll really do it.
See, look, Travis has just got you beat there.
Hey, these Sour Patch Kids are awesome, too.
Oh, my God.
We could do a whole podcast on freaking candy. I'd be down with that.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
candy.
I Love Candy podcast.
Starring Xander Scullion, part of the Excess Gaming Podcast franchise.
It's a sweet listen.
In a world where candy ruled, there was Xander Scullion.
Indeed.
Join him now as his sultry voice makes candy sound like a sexual foreplay. Xander Scullion is I Love Candy podcast. And also, speaking of candy and the radio show and just a generally awesome dude, we have here a man who joined the Retro Island Network last week and is just really, really awesome. He's Travis's co-host on the Radio Show and also co-host on the Untitled Movie Show. He is Mr. Craig. I am so epic. I eat when the fuck I want to. Kellerman.
That's right. You guys are making me all kinds of randy right now.
I can tell. It's just like loads of food and food stuff. It's just
beautiful thing.
It makes you just want to like shoot a load at the screen.
Oh, I already did.
My God. Speaking of, I don't even know how to segue from that. She draws and stuff. There you go. She draws for us. She does loads of artwork, and she's an amazing illustrator. She is someone who's been on the various shows of ours, of course, including I Got Gameplay. Sarah Mortimer.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry about the guy stuff there. We tend to go all guyness. It does get a sausage. It gets a bit of a sausage fest in here. You know, it turns into a bit of sausage rolls. Speaking of Sarah, we also have our other half on here. He debuted on our show, basically about couples that game together. He's Mr. Scott Wilson. Scott, tell us about yourself. Yeah, you haven't told us what you do.
I don't know.
Apart from let Sarah speak for you, of course.
I work at a local 3D animation company, and I do tools development stuff for them.
That's actually kind of awesome. That makes all of us look like shit. For shame, guys. Why don't any of you work for 3D animation companies?
My self-worth has now plummeted.
I watched a ton of 3D animation movies. Does that count?
Yeah?
You have enough talent to work for Pixar, Craig.
No, not quite. Working on it though.
Enough.
Yeah, maybe you can start picking apart patterns and that. Yeah.
They do have that work program at Pixar where anyone, including the janitor, can actually like move up to the level of designer. So
Okay.
that does work. So Xander, get a job as a janitor at Pixar, and then after 5 years, you'll be drawing stuff.
Nice.
So that would work. Now, speaking of drawing, this wouldn't be IGG without me giving out this lovely number, which I haven't done in the last couple of shows for some weird reason. So I'm giving it out now. It's our calling number of 718-664-9265. So we're going to go into the news segment in a little bit, guys. So if there's any news that you want to discuss with us, like Xander being the sexiest man on radio, which is not true because Michael Burhan is, or Travis Goss being Mr. Rosy-Coloured Reviewsy, or Craig basically trying to work for Pixar, let us know. Because we can start a Kickstarter for him, that's fine. We'll just move him over there and get him work at Disney.
Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, we need to do that. Or even his pop campaign, it's up to him. So let us know, guys. Phone in. You can also clickety-clack that Skype button at the top there. Yes, I stole that from Phil DeFranco, but I don't care. It's mine now. So you can just click on that and call in. So then, let's go now, guys, onto a segment that's well-known in IGG. It is our news segment. If I can find the bloody... This board's just messed up. Here it is. Hey. So, Craig Kellerman, what is in the news this week?
I don't know. You tell me. I haven't really been paying attention to too much news stories.
God.
But,
okay, let's move on to Travis then. Travis.
Well, there's two big events that happened this week. One of them is that Metal Gear Solid 5 has dropped.
Ground Zeroes. No,
Ground
not
Zeroes. And
it's like a $40 demo, right?
It's like $40 downloadable content.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, if you get it for the PS4 and Xbox One, it's $40. And I think it's $30 for the PS3 version as well as Xbox 360. But it's only $20 for digital download. But apart from that, not a lot of people are really telling you guys to go out and buy it, from what I understand.
Well, a lot of companies like IGN, for instance, and GameSpot have said it's visually stunning, the mechanics are great, the only fucking thing that's wrong with it is that it's too fucking short.
It's one level, no bosses. It's just like a small open world, and then it's over in 5 minutes.
Just like Sex with Me.
Can I jump? I'm guessing you guys are talking about Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. Yes,
Have any of you
ladies
guys...
and gentlemen, introducing the man himself. He is Scott Bailey, a.k.a. the Console Snob.
Good evening, lads. But, yeah, let's get all the intros and bollocks out of the way.
And ladette, because Sarah's here.
Hello, Sarah. Anyway. Metal Gear. Has anyone played a little game called Gran Turismo Prologue?
Yep.
I have not, but here's the thing. The way the game is designed, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, it's basically... I was watching Pro Jared actually do an extended review about it, and he said that this game, pretty much all it is only one level, but it's a precursor to before Solid Snake wakes up in the hospital with the building on fire.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Anyone who's played Gran Turismo Prologue or any of those style games where you pay a budget price for basically an extended demo, once again, when a big franchise like Metal Gear tries doing this, it's like, oh, this is not on, where other franchises done it before, but not many people seem to care about it.
Well, it's such a large scale, because so many people are going to buy it, and I think the Metacritic scores on it are so high that it's kind of misleading.
Well, my personal opinion, I've played the game 3 times in the last 2 days, and completed it first one, I took my time. The second time, I tried to speed run it, and the third time, I just did it just for the hell of it. And I have no problems with it whatsoever. It's a bit of a ball ache because it's a taster for what's coming later in the year. But I was
What do you think of the high price point of it, though?
I think for the English, I don't know what it is in America. It's $29.99 in the old GBPs, and it's probably that is its maximum limit. If anyone remembers Case Zero, Frank West Case Zero, the pre-game,
me.
the pre-game to Dead Rising 2, that was £20. So
yeah, but you could actually, it's because it was DLC, it did go down in price because I got
it was not DLC. That was a standalone game, and the reason why it was £20 because that was the maximum price that you could set on Xbox Live Arcade at the time. Now they don't have that restriction anymore, especially on the Xbox One. They can charge what they please.
Plus, it got a physical disc release as well, and I can understand why people are upset about it because, truthfully, it was a part of the game that Kojima chopped off.
I think that's what rubbed quite a lot of people out the wrong way because it's a physical release. I bought mine digitally, and when they first announced it, it was going to be just digital. But then the collectors started pissing and moaning about, oh, we want a disc copy. Then they're pissing and moaning that it's only 2-3 hours long, one playthrough, and well, not even that. So it's like, well, if you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Well, I was going to say one thing about it is, I don't know why I understand why people are complaining about it, but we knew this game was going to be short.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be short. And the thing is like, I actually made a video about this I'm going to upload very soon on my YouTube channel, that I don't support it. I don't support Ground Zeroes because I think that this is going to lead a new doorway, and I'm going to sound paranoid as hell saying this, but I think this is going to lead a new doorway to new gaming ideas for gaming companies, and that's for releasing half games.
I agree with Xander on this. It's a dangerous footing that they're placing themselves in.
Yeah,
What I was going to say though was, a lot of us complain about DLC, about microtransactions, about, in this case, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, buying endings. But the thing is like, we can all change this if we just quit buying the shit.
Well, that's the simple thing. If you don't want to buy it, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah.
No, I agree on the same thing, but it does, it did spawn a lot of memes, including Johnny Willett posting that Vine video of him going, oh, look, it's Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't care if I complete it in 2 hours. Oh, fuck, I completed it in 2 hours.
That was more like just a jab in the eye. That was more just a jab in the eye to people who's complaining about it, really.
But it was hilarious. It was like one of those things where I found it funny, but as soon, I have to admit, my brother said to me, do you want Ground Zero for the PS3 for your birthday? Because I remember he was going to buy it for me, and I would receive it basically in this month. I knew this was going to be a prelude. That was going to be a prologue. That at the end of the day, I could probably end up buying it pre-owned for like £5, 2 months down the line.
It's about.
Sorry, one sec.
I'll just jump in.
Go on, Scott.
That's exactly how I see it. Is that it's one of those things. Are you willing to wait for it? If you're that big a Metal Gear Solid fan, you'll shell out top dollar for it, or will you wait 6 months and get it for half the price?
Yeah.
By then, the full game, the whole game. I'm not saying that's a part of the game. Will be out, and then you can come what may.
But that's the thing. That's the thing you got to see behind this as well. I was discussing with Travis a minute ago how I got Saints Row 4 Commander in Chief Edition for £10. Right, I waited for the game. It's pre-owned. It's just as good as the same thing. It's got all the DLC and everything in it. I lucked out basically when I purchased it. You can get anything for.
You didn't get a dubstep gun, did you? I got the full-blown Commander in Chief Edition with the statue and the dubstep gun and all that stuff.
Bring it with you to Blackpool.
I forget some batteries for it. I burnt the batteries.
But the thing about it is, with those sort of games, with any game, it will go down in price. You don't have to buy it now. Unless you're a hardcore gaming fan of the franchise like Johnny is, then of course, it does annoy people. There's a lot to do in it. It's not good enough to be called a full game, and I agree. And I agree with Xander's point of view as well, that the fact is, by having this, it does open up a door for companies like Capcom, like EA, who are prone to doing stupid gimmicks in order to get more money out of people, to do this. Because they've proven that Konami's successful doing it, which they have done. It's sold a ton of copies. The game has actually cracked, I believe it's cracked like something the million mark in terms of sales. So we're going to see a lot of this happen. It's going to open up that doorway. But Xander's right in the sense of quit bitching. You know, if you're not happy with it, just don't buy it.
But also, it's... Sorry, I'm jumping in again. I'm being such a prick tonight. The way I see it as well is that, especially when it comes to next gen, there's pretty much nothing coming out. It's all coming out later this year, summer onwards. Yeah. So everyone's jumping, they're pissing their pants or anything, new in next gen. So it's one of those freak occurrences where something like this can be profitable.
I agree. And Travis, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say the best thing you can do is just wait for this game to sit in a bargain bin and then get it.
Yeah, because I'm definitely going to get it myself. It's just I'm going to wait because there was no way in hell I was going to buy this full price.
Buy it used.
Yeah. Craig, what about you?
I was just thinking of that the Johnny Millennium video he put out on it. They run to the store, they pick up the game, they get it home, press the start button, and it's the end credits roll.
Yeah. It literally is that. With some people, they've actually said, I think it was IGN.com said, you could literally, if you avoid a lot of the obstacles, if you speed through the game, you could literally complete this game within 10 minutes.
Actually, someone's already beaten it in 5 minutes.
Fuck it, me, man. Yeah, so agreed on that. Sarah, Scott, have you guys got an opinion on this?
We haven't really played it yet, but I'm not very impressed by the fact that it's $30-40 and only 2 or 3 hours long. Like, I'm kind of agreeing with Sandy here, where I'm just worried, so many people are buying this, and then people suddenly think it's okay to release, a tiny little game or half a game.
Yeah, let's wait until we see...
You have to buy the rest of it.
Let's wait until we see a Zelda game that just comes with the fire temple, and you had to buy the temples one by one to create the Triforce.
Dude, if that happened, I will be throwing my Nintendo products out the window.
They kind of do that with some of these games that have chapter releases, like
Walking Dead.
Yeah, The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, or whatever.
Yeah, but you get a lot more content per episode on that. Because each episode's a new experience. It's not like you're paying for certain levels, like, for instance, like app games, Right. And Scott, you were going to say something?
And those episodic games, they advertise them as episodic.
Yeah.
Like, if you buy, say, The Walking Dead, there's, an option to either buy individual episodes, I don't know why you fucking would, or buy the whole series in one go. Another thing about a lot of money for little amounts of content, I think some people forget that, say, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, games that only last for 4 hours maximum, like Resident Evil 2, that cost 30 to 40 quid. I think some people get a bit blinded by the lights about what's your money's worth to what game you're getting. Like, all right, granted, if I spent 30, 40 on, say, a game that's supposed to last 40 hours, then I feel like I get my money's worth. But if I buy another game that lasts 30 or 40 hours and it's boring as fucking crap, then where's the monetary value? If I bought something that lasts 4 to 5 hours or 3 to 4 hours, whatever, and I enjoyed the absolute shit out of it, I'm satisfied.
That's agreed there on Scott's point of view there. So, Scott, can I ask you a question? Have you purchased the game yet?
Yeah, I bought it digitally.
And what did you think of it?
I felt it was adequate. Now, of course, it leaves you wanting more, but I've played it 3 times since getting it, and I'll probably play it a few more times before I move on to something else. Especially now that I've changed jobs, my gaming time at the moment is pretty limited. So anything I can get in is a bonus at the moment, other than playing my 3DS.
Same.
Yeah. Toilet gaming, fuck the world. So, Travis, what else you got for us in the news thing?
Well, like I was saying, the other big news of the week, of course, is GDC happened. And
went by.
And to be honest, there really is nothing that sticks out in terms of that. I mean, I'm looking at the list of things that happened at GDC and looking at the list on joystick.com, and it's just a lot of, oh well. A lot of things about virtual reality.
It's
and that's
just all
pretty much about it.
And we step back in 1985 with fucking VR. It's like, we get into it, we then run away from it as fast as we can, and then we start sinking back into it. I don't knock things like the Oculus Rift. It's interesting. But is this really the way we're going with all this? Now that, PlayStation are bringing out their headset, and even Microsoft are rumored to be bringing out their own style of headset. It's like, I wish they would just try to innovate with the controller and a TV and a console instead of trying to give you more shit to hang off your ears and hang off your dick, to play the bloody games.
I agree. And what if you got multiplayer? You got to buy 2 Oculus Rift headsets, 3. I mean,
I think games companies just have a hard on for sensory deprivation at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of those things. They want to give you the full experience. I think is the word for it. We want to give
immersion.
you everything. But truthfully, I don't think you can get that. In my opinion, there's no way you could truly, because once that happens, then they're going to do gaming nostril sensory.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, especially for me, I'm long-sighted anyway, so I can't see anything about half a foot in front of my face.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So if I put that Rift on my head, I'm not going to see shit. So what's the point? It'll be
3D doesn't work for you very well, huh?
Well, I can watch a 3D movie, depending on what film it is, to a certain degree. But anything really close to my face, I can't see. It's all blurry. So what's the point of? Personally, what's the point of me investing in buying an Oculus Rift or whatever Sony headset, whatever the fuck they're calling it? What's the point? Don't do it. Don't even bother doing anything. Don't even get out of bed.
Next thing they'll attach something to your penis and you have to play it that way.
Kneel before Zod.
This is now your joystick. Ow! 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 Ow!
Judging by some of the games I've been playing, I've had more fun jamming my dick in the drawer.
Oh.
How was your gaming experience? I can't move it anymore. Or have children. Either way.
Anyway, aren't we supposed to be talking about RPGs?
We are supposed to be talking about RPGs.
I had some news.
Go for it, Xander.
I'm actually pulling it up right now on my phone because I had it saved.
Boo! You should have your hands Xander. Those gummy bears are getting into your IGG time. Seriously.
Yes, I know.
No more gummy.
But no, I got something very something really big happened this week, of course, and that's the guy that was behind Symphony of the Night has left Konami.
Hold that thought, guys. Hold that thought. We've got a caller. Podmo 1984, you are live on I Got Gameplay.
Hi.
Hi.
So, what are we talking about here? I've been having trouble connecting.
You haven't been listening? Put the phone down.
I've been trying. It's been kicking me off, and last thing I heard, we talking about the Oculus Rift, and I'm just wondering if we've talked about the sex simulator version that they released in Japan.
Oh, what is this?
Okay, 1 second, caller. Let us know who you are.
My name is Michael, and I'm from Denver, Colorado. And I am a
sure
big
about that?
Yes, it's Michael.
Yes.
How's the weed?
I got some gummy bears.
So Michael, tell us about the sex version of the Oculus Rift. I think Snob's just basically gone half-mast over it.
Well,
I blind to be on front of my face.
I saw an article on it, and there's a YouTube video where you actually, I don't know if it's actually released yet, they're like demoing it, but you stick your penis in this this module, and the girl on the other end, jacks off. And this is a real thing. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Yeah, but how would the other girl jacks you off, but you got to put something on your dick? That's not exactly direct contact, is it?
No, but I mean you're wearing the helmet. Wearing the helmet.
I could create the same thing with a cushion and a fucking Black & Decker drill.
Well, then it's not going to take off too well. Well, the funny thing about it is, imagine if it malfunctions when you're beta testing that thing. It could end up burning your dick. That'd be hilarious.
It would rip your dick off and email it to Australia before you know what the fuck's happening.
Would you let your friends use it?
That's a good
question.
Xander, would you let me use it after you played with that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I just have to get wet wipes.
Make sure you rinse it between uses.
Just don't use a Clorox wipe.
Xander was just here's my collectible. Burhan bought it for me, and it's just this big penis Oculus Rift thing sitting on his desk on the Exodus Gaming podcast. So, Michael, what do you think about the whole Metal Gear Solid situation? Metal Gear Solid 5, the pre-played demo that they basically released. Do you think Travis basically is in the school of thought of it's a waste of money, don't get it. Scott's in the school of thought of it's the same as Metal Gear, as Dead Rising Case Zero, and also Case West, that it's just an add-on anyway. And Xander's in the school of thought of that it's going to basically create something dangerous in allowing game companies to release these half-finished games.
They do that anyway.
Has anyone here actually played it?
Yep.
Beaten it? I was talking to, I saw the Happy Console Gamer. They were, making fun of its length. And I was talking to Robman actually earlier today because I was considering buying it. The video kind of scared me. So, but he said the content that you get is actually worth it. He feels the price for it, even though it is short. It's not here. It's not a full price $60 game. And he said he had a blast with it. And I trust his opinion on games, especially since he's a big Metal Gear fan. And I haven't played it yet, but.
Okay, yeah, no, it's I agree wholeheartedly on that. I think with the game itself, it's one of those, as I said, for those who are huge Metal Gear fans, you're gonna want to buy it. For me, I'm gonna probably wait until it goes to pre-owned so I can get it then. Right. I had a choice between getting that or getting The Legend of Zelda from my 3DS, so I chose that instead.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And also because the fact that I game with my 3DS a lot more at the moment than I do my PS3. Toilet gaming, fuck the world, as far as I'm concerned. So, going on from that news, Xander was talking about Konami. Xander, what's going on down in Konami HQ?
Well, the creator, not creator, but the lead director of Symphony of the Night and all the brainchild of Metroidvania has pretty much left the company. He left the company this week.
Xander. And
yes?
Just say Symphony of the Night again for me, please.
Symphony of the Night?
Oh, that makes my penis so happy. Carry on.
But, yeah, he left the company, sadly. But he's forming his own studio. And actually, I had a news article that he said that he would love to work on the next Metroid if Nintendo contacted him.
Ooh, that sounds actually that sounds like something that should happen.
Highly unlikely, but shut up, Spoonie. I'm not getting a text message right now. Sorry. Very professional. I'm trying to,
but yeah, I mean, he was talking about this, and talking about the whole situation. It's almost like he's the Keiji Mifune of Konami right now. Because everyone is so up in arms. Everyone was upset when they found out he was leaving Konami, but he pretty much left Konami because they kept canceling all of his games, and of course they took up Mercury's Steam and started making the Lord of Shadows game, which Lords of Shadows is not doing too great right now. I'm a huge Castlevania fan. I take.
Sorry, Xander. Can I interrupt you again?
Sure.
Lord of Shadow.
Betrayal! What? Betrayal!
Thank you.
But no, like what I was going to say was, yeah, a lot of people don't like the Lords of Shadows games.
I
take
love
them. Well, what I was going to say was, I take them for what it is. They don't feel like Castlevania, especially the second one. The more I start playing of it,
if they weren't called Castlevania, I wouldn't give a shit.
That's just God of War.
But no, like he was talking about creating his own studio, and the fact that he could make a Castlevania game pretty much, kind of like very similar to Mighty Number 9, because you guys got to take into consideration Dracula is public domain. So
God, I can imagine the Nosferatu, like 1910, was it? Well, that film was made a fucking.
Oh yeah, it was made in the 20s. Yeah.
Imagine a Castlevania game like that. Then it'll be very old and janky and no dialogue whatsoever.
But no, he can do that, and I'm pretty excited about it. Another piece of news that I had was who's the fastest thing alive and has tons of attitude and might be getting his own movie? Sonic the Hedgehog. Now hold on. Let me talk about this for 1 second, guys. Okay, they're saying it's gonna be a dark and edgy, part live action, part cartoon.
Scott, 1 second. Let's get out of the talk, man.
Sorry.
It's in development with Columbia Pictures. It's going to be, they said the original films and Sega are on board to finance. And the possible writers could be the same writers that did movies like Zombieland and Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, my God.
Is it going to be CG or what kind of animation?
Well, they said They said it was going to be a mix of live action and animation.
Oh God.
Really?
As long as it's not another Howard the Duck, then I ain't got an issue. Because I want Sonic, like, fawning over some freaking, like, Earth Woman or something.
Why can't they just do an animated feature? Because Sonic is animated. It's like, if you try... Last time they tried to do a fucking live action or in a live world, what happened? Fucking thoroughly... No, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006.
Roger Rabbit?
No, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. The furry fucking incident. Why?
What are you talking about?
It's still all animated.
Guys. Go on, Tanner.
Well, I was going to say, like, I mean, I'm not going to make an opinion on it yet because we don't know what it's going to be. I mean, when they say live action animation, it could be the only human in it could be Dr. Robotnik, which would make sense because he's human.
Okay, this is one of the posters that I found that could show Sonic the Hedgehog. Guys, you can have a look on there. I'm going to post this on Facebook as well.
Let me guess. Okay. Sonic could be voiced by Shia fucking Buff.
Just check it out. You're going to laugh.
It's got to be Jaleel White, man. The original cartoon. Steve
That's good.
Gosh. Yeah, our opinions may
scary, but that's good.
No, even worse.
God's happy.
Even worse. Here's a worse one for you guys. This is another one which I think Xander would like.
I can't watch it because if I watch it, it's going to lock up my computer.
That's scary, man. That's really scary.
Well, can you take it on Facebook, Xander?
Yeah.
I'll give it to you on Facebook. But it's hilarious. It's like for this whole thing, a sort of 3D movie probably would have been the best idea.
Well, Sony just announced doing a Ratchet and Clank movie, but they are using the same graphics and textures and all that stuff from the upcoming PS4 game. That makes sense because you're using, the source material and the same sort of style.
They probably do.
Design is its own thing. Like
So
the new, the Sonic redesigned characters, the whole new Sonic world. Is this part of that or its own thing?
No idea.
They said it's going to be dark and edgy, so there's no telling what it's going to be.
Oh, great. So they're going to have Matt Wahlberg playing this fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's going to be Animal on the big screen.
Or Christian Bale, one of those.
Oh, it'll be Manimal. Yeah.
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
Or also like Vin Diesel.
Where is Tails?
So going off from that, Craig, have you found some news?
Have I found any news?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Sarah, what about yourself?
I haven't really found anything of note. Like, the only thing I found was something about Bravely Default, but
Ooh,
I don't know how many of us
I like
played
that
that
game.
game yet.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so they've kind of announced the sequel for it. It's called Bravely Second. It's going to be released next. We're not sure when it's going to be released in Japan yet, but someone from the studio just said that they're going to be streamlining some of the gameplay processes from the first one, and it's going to be, let's see.
Wasn't Bravely Second an ability in the game?
It was, yeah. I think it's where you stop time or something, so maybe it has something to do with it, yeah.
Microtransaction thing.
Oh no, that's totally, yeah. Like, you don't even really need that at all.
No, you don't. You just leave your DS overnight. You get
I literally just keep it in the charge cradle, let it sleep, and then it's done.
Such a dumb mechanic. I want to play the game. I don't want to leave it sleeping while it's fucking charging up.
Yeah, okay, that's a fine thing. What about you, Michael? Have you played Bravely Default yet?
I just got it. I've been spending more time. I just got the Castlevania Lord of the Shadow 8. So I've been playing that.
The sequel or the original?
Let me pull the brace on that one. The 2D version, the 3DS one, and also it just come out on the 360 and the PS3.
Betrayal!
They can't even...
Betrayal!
Yeah, exactly.
Betrayed me!
There you go, Snob, for you.
But the thing is, they couldn't even do a 2D fucking Castlevania right anymore. It's like, they just turned it into Lords of Shadow, but made it one-dimensional. Why? It's so easy to make. Just go back about 4 or 5 years, we had 3 awesome Castlevania games on the DS. How can you balls that up?
I like those games. They're a lot more like the Symphony of the Night games.
Well, that's what they basically were. Yes, some people like them, some people hate them.
I like that. I like that Metroid style. Yeah, that Metroid style search and gameplay. It's a lot. I think it fits Metroid better than anything in a 3D world.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah, one of my favourite Castlevania games was Dono Klesa, or whatever it's called, on DS, and I love that game.
You know, the funny thing though is I kind of agree with Michael and Xander on this one. It's basically, it has its own place. You know, it's not meant to be a significant sort of replacement for the Castlevania games. It's just its own kind of world.
I enjoy it for what it is. I mean, I've been having a smile on my face every minute I've been playing it, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I think it's a good game, but they're 2 separate entities. You can't compare them.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true, and plus one of them's got a Scottish accent, the other one doesn't.
Has anyone played the HD upgrade? Just curious.
Well, Blood
I played the 360 version and I had the 3DS version, and they both sucked.
Well.
Okay. What about you, Xander? Let's end the debate on this one. What do you think?
Well, what about Lord? Are we still talking about Lords of Shadows? I'm trying to follow where everything's going there. Mirrors of Fate. I like Mirrors of Fate. Again, I think a huge problem with the Castlevania series is the fact that games like Symphony of the Night is such on a pedestal, and then you had all the games that followed, the wonderful handheld games. And I think a lot of the problem is that people play that, and they expect all the Castlevanias to be like that. I look at it as in the sense of like almost like you do comic books, in the sense that like it's a part of a different world. I mean, I know they try to rekindle it with the canon, but there's too many plot holes. To me, it's not canon. To me, it's a totally different universe, because Trevor Belmont is not Alucard. Sorry, he is not Alucard. There's a totally different story with that. Originally, Dracula was not a Belmont. If you guys played Lament of Innocence, you would find that out.
Yep.
So the timelines are completely different.
Yep.
I look at it as I would look at it as if you were reading a 1960s Batman or you're reading the Action 52. It's still Batman. It's still good, but the stories are very different. I don't really read comics, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, but, aside from story, though, the gameplay, because in my personal experience, I've played after Symphony of the Night, I played all the, Metroidvania ones. By the time I got to Portrait of Ruin, while I enjoyed it, I was kind of getting, burned out on that.
Yeah.
The Metroidvania style. I was like, it's like the same game. And I even, Order of Ecclesia, same thing. Looked great, had fun for a while, I just got burned out. So, to me, Lords of Shadow is kind of a breath of fresh air, just for a little change, but that's...
Yeah. When Symphony came out, it pretty much pigeonholed the rest of the Castlevania series until Lords of Shadow, where they would have to do the same thing over and over. Where me personally, I always loved the linear style of Castlevania. I love Lords of Symphony of the Night, but I would
like Super Castlevania 4.
I've got one of my prized possessions in my collection. A game I could throw in anytime I feel like is my Super Famicom version of Super Castlevania 4. I fucking love that game. One of the best games I've ever played.
Okay, going on from that in terms of the news segment, let's go on to one little last bit of news. Microsoft claims of the Xbox One becoming more powerful using cloud is technically correct.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, well, the Xbox One has faced several controversies in the past year, and since it was unveiled, but one of the few things remaining issues has been the purpose of cloud computing. Microsoft has told us time and time again that cloud computing can be used to make the Xbox One console more times powerful than the hardware remaining the same. But is it really possible? And Gaming Bolt says yes. It turns out, even according to some of the limited knowledge, the Xbox One's architecture, that it's very much possible. Harbor Schemes founder and Shadowrun Returns creator Jordan Wiseman was recently asked about the same by GameBolt and responded that, I think that you have to pull apart those marketing statements pretty specifically. And I should start with the giant caveat that I am anyway fluent in the details of the architecture of the Xbox One. In general, if you have a high bandwidth connection, and they're devoting severe server-side processing power support, which runs locally on your machine, it is technically correct. Your local machine could offload tasks to the server at the other end, which could execute it, send it back, where it's anything as pre-rendered video to compilation components or anything to enhance multiplayer. The processing power of it is basically a generic truth, regardless what specifics in the box or what anybody else says. So what do you guys think of this?
Well, it's basically the same technical... It's basically OnLive, in a way, where OnLive is a streaming service, and they're basically... this is what I get, is that they're trying to offload some of the processing power to this style of cloud-based gaming. Be quite honest with you, it's a load of media bollocks, be quite honest with you, because what your box can't render in front of you, you can't really rely on the internet to do it for you. It just seems fucking...
It'd be a lot slower.
And granted, it won't apply to me because I'm on a 6 meg connection. Maybe if I was on a gig connection, it might work. But to be quite honest with you, it just sounds like a load of marketing bollocks.
Maybe in the future, maybe for a next console or whatever, it might work out.
Hey, you know what? According to Michael, we're going to have sex with our consoles soon.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Speaking of the Xbox One, the Titanfall bundle is dropping to $450 US at Best Buy and Walmart.
Yeah, it's $399 here.
Yes, it's awesome.
But one thing...
What?
One thing I've been playing a little bit of Titanfall on my Xbox One, and I'll be honest with you, I like the game, it's fun, but it runs like shit. And there's quite a lot of complaints of people saying that Titanfall on the Xbox One runs like crap. And hopefully they are going to fix it, but I was quite surprised because I played the beta quite a bit and didn't have that as much problems as the full-blown release. So what was the beta for? Marketing. Because it looks like they haven't really fully optimized the fucking game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, as per what Michael said about the simulation of sex, apparently I found the device that the guy actually uses to do it.
Uh-oh.
Here's a YouTube video. Watch it if you dare.
Oh.
Watch it if you dare, people.
I'd rather not do that.
It's actually attached to a Dell laptop, which makes me feel like Dell's just being really dirty.
So
maybe
what, slams his dick to a Dell laptop and shuts the door?
No, there's a mechanism.
A CD tray. Oh, that's what he's using.
There's a mechanism that's attached to it. That's attached by USB.
It's some sticky tape, some cotton wool, and the CD tray.
Watch the video, Snob. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And he's got some game, I have to admit. So there you go. That's as close to porn as YouTube's ever going to get. Now, speaking of the whole terminology with the Xbox One, and as what Craig was saying about Titanfall, the one thing that leaves a question to the rest of us is, where is the Xbox 360 version of the game? Apparently it's been delayed again.
I know it has.
Big surprise.
You know why? Because you can tell if you do a little bit of research in the UK especially. I think the Xbox One's jumped like 500% in sales, the console alone. So no wonder they're sitting on the 360 version. It makes sense, and I'm not saying that because I'm a fanboy. But if I was Microsoft, then I could see the numbers of Xbox One purchases growing because of Titanfall. I would hold off on the older version as well.
Okay, I agree on you on that one, but at the same level, I want my fucking version of Titanfall. I'm not buying an Xbox One yet.
Why do you want the 360 version of Titanfall?
Because I own a 360.
It's going to be even more. It's going to be even more jaggy than the fucking Xbox One version.
Well, it's not created by the same people. It's a different development team too, right? So it's going to be a different game.
Exactly.
No, it's basically all the main components of the game, but it's being watched over another team. They're basically polishing it off.
So it's going to be better.
Well,
could possibly be better. We don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be coming out from the news now, and we're going to be moving on to today's topic, which is RPG games. So while we do that, I'm going to leave you guys something to listen to while we go on our break. So we'll see you back in 3 minutes.
Man, every young hot shot in the outer rim comes gunning for me sooner or later.
Oh, fuck that. I'm taking my headset off.
You gotta be kidding me.
Betrayed me!
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Okay, that wasn't the song, guys. Here it is.
Oh, everyone hates you on the live stream because of that fucking bit. That's the best part of the song right there.
What's it?
That's Streets of Rage. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we are back from our little break here. Yes, I kind of tried you with that whole solo thing, but it was on the sound part, so I thought I'll basically talk about it. So now we're going to be talking about RPG games that deserve sequels. Now we're going to go to the panel of hosts here, ask people their opinions on what certain RPG games deserve sequels. And first and foremost, I think we should go to Scott Bailey, the console snob here, to ask your opinion. Scott, name us an RPG that you think deserved a sequel and never got one.
I can say that I would love to see a straight sequel to Shin Megami Tensei. We've had plenty of fucking spin-offs like Survivor, Persona, and so on, but I'd love to see, actually, the very first one on the Sega CD be translated into English. That would be awesome. I would love to see, a new full-blown Shin Megami Tensei game. Alright, we had Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS, but we don't have it in the UK yet. Get on it, Atlas. But I'd love to see a new Shin Megami Tensei game. And secondly, I'd love to see a sequel to Project Cross Zone.
Project Cross Zone. Can you talk a little bit about Project Cross Zone? What's that?
Project Cross Zone is fan service to the 8th degree. It's a crossover game between Namco, Sega, and Capcom. And it's basically got pretty much every character from every of their franchises thrown into a tactical RPG. So you have like Ryu and Ken, you have Chun-Li, you have Ryo Suzuki from... no, not Ryo. That's Shenmue. The couple of guys from Virtual Fighter. You even got people from Super Robot Tyson, or Tenson, or whatever it's called. Can't remember the full name of it. It's just got shitloads of, like... Think Marvel vs. Capcom, but in a RPG style. It is phenomenal. The combat in Project Cross Zone can be a bit repetitive, but I love it because it's got like a hybrid of an APB sort of battle system with a fighting game. It's really cool.
Okay. Well, let's go to our next guest here, Michael. I haven't introduced you properly, and I do apologise. This is Michael Yanacito. Basically, he's a good friend of mine and Rob Mann's. He's also a gentleman who's basically helped me out lose weight. He's a personal trainer, and he's an avid gamer.
Oh, God, you need a fucking team of people to lose weight, you fatty boy.
So, Michael, tell us what RPGs that you basically feel deserve sequels. Michael, you there?
No.
I think he's disappeared.
I think he was going to say Mass Effect, so I preempted and kicked him from the call.
I'm here. Hello.
Oh, hi,
Hello.
Michael. Michael,
Okay.
basically asked, what RPGs do you feel deserve a sequel that never got one?
Well, I don't know if they deserve it, since the last game they released was not very well received but worldwide, which was Unlimited Saga. But if you don't know, I'm talking about the Saga series, the Square. So that's Square Enix. I'm a big fan of all their games, the Saga Frontier 2, the Super Famicom ones.
Saga Frontier 2 was awesome.
Yeah,
I like
that's one of the best ones.
The watercolor art style they did. It was all hand-painted. It was really good.
Also, part of that series would be the Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2, 3 on the Game Boy. Those are Saga games as well. And they did actually do remakes of those on the DS, but they never came out of Japan. But I really enjoy the battle system. There's no other battle system quite like it. The gaining skills randomly and the life points, tech points. It's really, honestly, my favorite battle system of any RPG series. And I think a lot of people are scared off by that series. That's why it's not as popular as it could be, because it's kind of confusing and they don't give really good tutorials. They kind of like assume you're familiar with the series, and that's the big reason Unlimited Saga failed. It's one of the most in-depth RPGs played. No in-game tutorial and nothing really instruction. So that's basically one of the big reasons it's failed. I personally enjoyed it, but because it bombed, see another Saga game. Has anyone here played any of the Saga games? There was also Romancing Saga on the PS2.
Yeah,
I played
that.
one on the iOS and it was complete shit.
Yeah, I mean those games are pretty niche. I mean you really gotta like RPGs to like.
I hate playing rip-off versions of Bejeweled. Sorry.
No, but iOS, games like
Go
console
for.
games that have been ported over to iOS are never going to work anyway. Me and Xander talked about this
I was
previously.
talking about Candy Crush and all that crap.
Oh, okay. So, what about? Has anybody here else like sort of played it on the console platforms?
Nope.
I played Saga Frontier 2, like I said before, and that was a really awesome game. That was one of my first games that I had on the PlayStation. I got the PlayStation kind of late.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh, sorry, I just had a thought.
Yes.
Another game I'd love to see a sequel for would be Legend of Dragoon on
Yeah.
that was on the PlayStation.
I agree with
Great
that.
game.
That's a great, yeah.
Okay.
And Ultima.
Let's go to Xander now. Xander, what about you? What RPG games do you believe deserve a sequel that never got one?
I would like to see on the 3DS. I'd like to see a new Shining Force.
Oh no, you can't say that.
Oh.
Bleep. Sega Japan will shut us down.
I've got to basically like bleep him on YouTube. Like, it's like he's cussing. He'll just like some.
But no,
I swore afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a new Shining Force. I'd like to see I would really like can't even really talk right now.
I love that game.
I would love to see an actual sequel to Sword of Vermilion. There was supposed to be a Sword of Vermilion 2, but it got canceled. I'd love to see a new one.
Yeah, that would be too niche, I'd say.
Well,
not many people like that game.
For a hand, you could see that's the thing about like niche games. They work really well on handheld consoles like the Nintendo DS and 3DS. You see a lot of these cool RPGs and stuff that came out like Nostalgia. If you guys remember Last Generation, it was most of the RPGs were on those platforms.
Well, that's where most of the Shin Megami Tensei series is on DS.
Yeah.
Okay. What else, Anna? What other games do you think that you would actually like to see?
That's all I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, I'd like to see Shining Force, an actual Phantasy Star 5, not an online Phantasy Star, but an actual Phantasy Star. That'd be nice.
Awesome. Okay. What about you, Sarah? Because you and Scott have been a bit quiet.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just waiting for it. There's two games RPGs that I thought should get a sequel. One of them was Last Gen, is on the DS, called The World Ends With You. It's one of the very few actual original games that Square Enix has made, and it's actually quite good. Has anybody played it?
Stop the fucking presses. No, I haven't heard of that.
Really?
Especially by a game by Square Enix that's original and decent, apart from Bravely Default, of course.
Which isn't all that original.
Yeah, I'm not sure how easy it is to find, but it's basically all set in, it's all set in Shibuya, which is a part of Tokyo, and apparently it actually looks pretty much exactly what the real place looks like. It's kind of hard to explain the story, but I would definitely recommend going out and picking it up. The other one is, this one already kind of did get a sequel, but I've always wanted to see a third one, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The first one was 2006,
Well,
which was incomplete, but somebody actually modded all the lost content back into the PC version, which makes it a hell of a lot better.
the MMO tied up quite a lot of the story threads from the first two games. Like with Darth Revan, that was tied up in the MMO, which was okay. But yeah, a full-blown single-player Star Wars would be awesome.
Yeah, I wish they'd gone and actually done a KOTOR 3, but they just went with Old Republic instead. And it feels like there's something missing. They should go back and just fill that little gap there.
It would be highly unlikely to see another one of them. But saying that, BioWare did another RPG I would love to see another game from. That would be Jade Empire.
Oh, yeah,
all they needed to do now, the combat system was fine. It was a more of a button masher, which it's supposed to be. But I would love to see it be taken to like a next level and make it like a Bayonetta style combat system. That'd be fucking awesome.
I'm unfamiliar with Bayonetta's combat system.
More flashy, like Devil May Cry sort of style.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, Scott, what about you?
Earthbound.
Yeah.
They could just make Earthbound for the rest of existence, then I'll just buy into it.
They have Mother 3, which is not a direct one.
Yeah, they have
an emulator somewhere.
They have Mother 3, but not in North America.
I have emulated version of it with you.
Yeah.
Was it over here in the UK? Because I don't remember. Was it released in the UK here, Scott?
What?
Mother
Mother
3.
series. Earthbound was, I think. But...
Yeah, Earthbound was released on emulation on the.
And actually, Mother. I think one of the Mother games was ported to. It was the English port of one of the Mother games on the DS, I think.
What?
No.
That was probably Mother 3 then.
Yeah, Mother 3 was released on the Game Boy Advance only in Japan.
Ah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure.
The only way you can play it in English is via emulator with a translation patch.
Yeah, most of these games have been translated anyway. That's
Have
how
you-
I've been.
Have you guys played Earthbound?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he finished it like hell, and I'm playing it. I like it, but I'm getting stuck on it, and I haven't had time to go back into it.
I played it, emulated, of course, and I hate to say this, and I know I'm going to be a bit of a heel now. I don't care for it. I found it too childish. I think it's more.
It has a sense of humor.
It has humor, it has character, yes, but when it comes to my RPGs, I like the offbeat. I love anything that's done by Atlas, but I also like traditional old school RPGs. I love Ultima. I love Planescape Torment. You know,
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, yes. Neverwinter Nights. I love those style RPGs as well. Yeah. So when it comes to the whimsical stuff, I don't have much interest. The only sort of like off the wall whimsical, if you can call it whimsical sort of style RPG, even though it's very light in its RPG elements, would be the Stick of Truth. Love that game.
Kind of like Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario. Yeah, you know.
Oh, Paper Mario's really good. I like that one.
Yeah, the Mario RPG was quite fun.
Scott, have you played any of the Dragon Age games before?
Yep. Origins was pretty good. Enjoyed it. And I think my favourite thing, well, the laugh out loud moment is when I finally got to fuck a tranny dwarf. That's in the bar, by the way. But I think the biggest betrayal was Dragon Age 2, where you're stuck in the same little dingy, shitty area for 20 hours, then the game ends.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't finish either. I got pretty damn close to finishing Origins, and I burnt out. And I got about halfway through 2, and then I burnt out as well. It's the same thing.
Well,
Always the locations of the exploration kind of bugged me too.
Well, that was the golden age of BioWare, if you ask me. After Dragon Age Origins and the first 2 Mass Effects, that's when, from that onwards, is when it started to go downhill.
And they took care of those Star Wars games were really good. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
that?
that's why, that's why even Jade Empire was awesome.
So, Sarah, what were you saying?
Jose, I want to play KOTOR again, but my Mac doesn't support that, and I got an Xbox copy of the first KOTOR game when we were in PAX in 2012.
Yes.
I played it. It was fine. It was a little bit weird. Like, it kept crashing sometimes. But then I got to right after I found out when I was revving, and it just crashed and it wouldn't turn back on again. I'm like, well, I can't fucking pretend this because this is from Seattle. So I
don't know. It might be backwards compatible with the 360.
We don't have a 360.
Yeah. Yeah, because quite a few of the popular Xbox games are backwards compatible with the 360.
It might be the disc thing. I'm not sure.
Well, all I can say about that is this.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That turns you on, huh?
That does. So, Travis,
Yeah.
what about you? What RPGs do you want to see remade?
Gosh, I don't know, because I'm not really a big RPG fan. I'm like a casual RPG player.
Why are you even here, Trav?
What?
Why are you even here, then?
Because Michael said I could be here.
I tell him always.
Well, the thing is, I mean, the big thing that everybody's saying that, Final Fantasy VII, which is a great game, Don't get me wrong. But a lot of people are kicking and screaming and begging Square to remake it. I'm like,
no.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Because it's like polygons.
Oh, whoopty freaking you don't see the remake of Pac-Man, do you? Come on.
If I play the game less than 720p, my eyes will bleed. Fuck you.
The game is perfect the way that it is. And all
exactly.
Here's how I stand about this particular game.
Could use a better.
Who here was upset when George Lucas re-released Star Wars, the special editions in '97, with all these editions? Who was kind of okay?
I think with the DVDs, that was a little bit weird. I was a bit young to really notice when he did the '97 one. That's the one. Is
that the one where we didn't know if Greedo shot first or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, that's when they changed it to where.
Remember.
Guys, one at a time, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, Travis.
That's when they changed it to where George Lucas, fuck it. When they made Han Solo stuck his head at the first shot, and then that's when he fired at Greedo. I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. And then they kept dropping all these scenes and all that stuff, and then since then, he was tinkering with the films because they weren't to his liking. They weren't perfect, and he kept tinkering, and just making fans even more jaded. And to the point where now it's moved empty shelves of they once were. Keep this in mind, and imagine if Square did the same thing for Final Fantasy VII, released that onto PS4 or whatever. Okay, constant tinkering, changing this or that, making it look like a totally different product. That's going to jade a lot of the fans, and it's going to turn them off. Final Fantasy VII is perfect just the way it is. If you can't get past the polygons, then why the hell are you playing video games in the first place?
Michael, you've been a bit quiet. What do you think? Do you think Final Fantasy VII needs to have a HD upscale or remake?
I like it the way it is, and I return to it every couple years, and I think it's perfect the way it is. I would honestly rather have a proper sequel. So.
Yeah. Well, they made ads on children.
Don't say sequel to when it comes to Final Fantasy because you know what ends up happening. You have to change outfits to do different attacks.
Well, I did do the Last Call movie. They did Advent Children, and they also did the precursor to that as well.
Crisis Core, which is an excellent game.
Amazing game.
That was a great game. But like I said, when it comes to games like that, they don't need to be HD remade, but they can be re-released. Final Fantasy 7, 8, and soon 9 has been re-released on Steam. That is absolutely fucking fine, because it makes sense, because Square are re-releasing these games. They're not really touching them, but they are releasing them, maybe with touchscreen controls, whatever, to cash in on people's nostalgia, but also, they're on their own, those games are good.
Yeah. Are you aware of the Final Fantasy 7 Steam re-release?
Yeah, he was talking about that a minute ago, Michael. Let me throw a game out there and see if anybody knows this game and how familiar it is. Xenogears.
Yep. I actually got that for the PS1.
Why hasn't this game had a sequel?
It's too obscure.
It has.
You know what? That game had a really good soundtrack too. It was made by the people that made Final Fantasy Tactics.
It's just amazing. I played through it. I was glued. It was actually one of the first RPGs I ever played, and I could not stop playing it. The story was so immersive, the characters, the idea of having it with this mech in there as well that you're piloting, and the fact that it's trying to take over your being in a sense. And it was one of those games that allowed you to choose between being good and bad, you know what I mean? Depending on how you wanted to play the story. It had everything. And if any game deserved a sequel, that did.
Kind of like Pacific Rim in a way, too, the way the game plays.
Well, with less of the showmanship and more of story.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Saying that, yes, you're talking about mechs and stuff like that. Another game I absolutely loved that was a tactical RPG was Front Mission 3 on the PS1. Played that I do remember my save. I played it for 350 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, Michael, have you had any experience with either of these games?
fan of Xenogears, and I actually, Saga trilogy. I've had them for 10 years, and I just started the first one, and there are similar elements. Has anyone here played those?
Not as of yet. I've been looking at it, but I didn't know if it was actually just like a remake or a reimagining of the game, or if it was a different game entirely.
It's just they're kind of like spiritually similar. You've got your mechs, you've got a lot of similar. It's hard to explain. Some of the themes in it are very similar. I'm noticing as I'm playing through. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I might have to go and pick that game up actually, in terms of Saga itself. But why do you think that they never actually made a re-release or basically even a sequel for Xenogears? Do you think, as Scott said, it was just a niche game?
It's too obscure.
Right. I think it's definitely all JRPGs really are. Unless they have the sales of something like the Final Fantasy series, you're not gonna see too many sequels.
Well, that's the thing. Quite a lot of those sort of franchises, some of them that stick, they stay around for years. Castlevania, Final Fantasy, it's all about brand names. It's something like Xenogears or Police Noughts or Snatcher. Yes, they are phenomenal games and they stand above and beyond some of the trash that gets released around them, but don't have the same dollar behind them, if you will. Like Final Fantasy, good or bad, people buy it, even though, good or bad, people buy it. I think it's an exploitation of just fucking Japanese dross.
Well, apparently Xenogears had shipped 1.19 million copies as of March 31st, 2003, since its release. So the game was basically originally released in 98, and maybe you guys are right, maybe it was just too niche for its time, basically. It wasn't something that we were ready for. But for me, I remember playing the original back in 98, and it made my day.
Could also be, sorry man, it could also be that the people behind the game didn't want to make a second game. They were fine with that one and they moved on to other things.
It was Squaresoft.
Oh, that's surprising. They love to shove their fucking franchise up the ass. Sorry, I sound jaded.
You do. What about you, Xander? What do you think?
I think Xenogears is one of those games that it's gotten more popular since it's been out, because I remember when it had just came out, like back in the late 90s, like early 2000s when it came out, and not a whole lot of people talked about it back then. It's one of those games that's gotten more popular as the years went on, and it probably didn't sell well. That's probably why we hadn't seen anything else come out of it from Square. And that's
because it came out, right after Final Fantasy VII, and that's actually the reason I got interested in wanting it, because it was made like before Final Fantasy VIII, and it was like the next RPG before Final Fantasy VIII came out. I'm surprised a lot of people didn't get on with that game.
And I think that's a lot of the problems that we see with RPGs. It's like a lot of them are a fine wine. They do get better with age in the popularity sense. Look at Earthbound. That game right there, it was not a successful game. I have heard people talk about stories of finding Earthbound in the box in bargain bins like years ago.
Yeah,
but now
it was a ginormous flop.
Yeah, but now it's just like, everyone and their mothers love Earthbound. So, it's just what it is.
I agree with Sam on that. It's one of those that should... For me, it's always remained sort of a special place in my heart in terms of RPGs. And as I said, it's one of those RPGs that I enjoyed wholeheartedly. It's way up there with my Final Fantasy VII. And with another RPG, if I can actually remember the bloody name of it, even though I kept playing it. Well, Breath of Fire, for instance.
But Breath of Fire still has games coming out. 3DS one just had one, Awakening. Is it Awakening? Hang on, I have been playing
Fire Emblem.
It is, isn't it?
Is someone changing their
I
clothes?
get them two mixed up all the time.
I think it's to do with Mike's Blog Talk Radio. 1 second.
Oh.
Yeah, he's sorting himself out. Now, as we were saying, guys, in terms of those type of games, what do you guys think of the Breath of Fire franchise? Do you think that's outlasted its time in a sense as well?
I think
nope.
I think Capcom took care of that game pretty well. But if you played the original, it's a pretty bare bones RPG, and it's kind of boring. I don't know if you guys played Breath of Fire 5, Dragon Quarter. Yeah, they changed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's that one like? So I've only played the first two. They were 1 and 2. They were ported onto Game Boy Advance, so I played both of those when I was younger.
Yeah, I would start with like Breath of Fire 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really good games in that like PlayStation 1 era, golden age of RPGs. But the Dragon Quarter changed it up pretty well, and they haven't made one since.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah. That was like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, the recent iOS game, it's supposed to be the next in the series, right? You guys read about
God. I hate iOS. The thing is one thing that bugs me about iOS games, they're made so badly. They're not made for anyone to sort of play them appropriately. It's sort of, you've got a touch screen there, they try and inlay that pad thing, and it just makes the game suck.
Yeah.
Well, some games, yeah, they have the digital pad, which doesn't work that well, but there's been a few, done RPGs from classic games that have worked. None spring to mind right now, because my mind's gone blank, but, shit, can't remember right now. Anyway, carry on.
Has anyone tried playing the latest Contra on iOS? Dear God.
Oh, God, yes.
I don't try to
Yeah,
play any games on iOS.
It's fucking painful.
I gave up after Streets of Rage on the iOS, which I still want my money back.
If you want decent iOS games, Carmageddon, Crazy Taxi, and House of the Dead Overkill. Sorry, The House of the Dead Overkill.
That's actually one of my favourite games. I still play that on the Wii.
Oh, I love that game so much.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's timeless. That game just, as I said, I've played it before with my ex-wife, and she's not even a gamer, and she loved that game.
Well, saying that, if you shave your head, you'd be Agent Washington, while Trav can be in G.
Why do I have to be a black guy? I just don't understand.
Because you're closer to the black than anyone else in this fucking white bread fucking cast.
Really?
He's got a point.
Well, all I've got to say to that, Scott, is this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Lame, you could have shouted, I'm going to rip your motherfucking balls off.
I could do that one as well, but still, I like that. But yeah, in terms of like RPGs on these phone devices, for me, unless it's a sort of made and catered towards the iOS, sort of like touchscreen, so you touch in a single location and the sprites go there, that's the only thing I could actually see being worthwhile out of all this. In terms of actually having these games on phones, it doesn't make sense for me.
Or check out my new game next week called Fappy Birds.
Oh, God. What, the MMO version?
Oh, watch me fap one out to birds.
That's probably another Vivid video, is it?
That'd be quicker than Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it's just like you just see Snob just pull his trousers down and then the title credits come up from Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. So let's actually, you brought up an interesting topic, both you and Mike have. Let's talk about devices. All you guys have played these RPGs on different devices. Which device is your favorite? Like your handheld consoles, your main consoles. You can specify like a manufacturer like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo if you want to. So we'll start with you, Scott.
I'm not going to mention any of those because my favorite RPGs on PC.
Okay, let's talk about that experience. You being a PC gamer mainly.
I'm not really a PC gamer mainly.
No, I mean in terms of RPGs.
But when it comes to RPGs, one of the first games I played on PC, other than Doom, was Ultima 5 or 6. Anyway, that was one of the first other games I played on the PC, and it sort of pulled me into this world where nothing's spoon-fed to you. You're given a quest, but then you got to work out what you got to do in that quest, and then you can either do that or just don't even bother, just run around Britannia and do your own thing, just be a big despicable prick, basically. And I would spend hours just picking up different weapons and items and killing stuff, and that's probably the purest role-playing game style you can play. It makes me sad when games that claim to be RPGs now don't have those sort of tropes anymore. It's all like, go up to the guy with the exclamation mark over his head, kill whatever he wants, 10 of whatever he wants, or collect 10 of whatever he wants, and then go back to the question mark over his head, claim your gold. And it sort of defeated what I enjoy in role-playing games, because I want to play a fucking role. I don't want to do the same repetitive quest 10 times in a row to gain a level up. I even prefer RPGs that you don't need to level up. I know quite a lot of people don't think Zelda games are RPGs, but you do play a role. You play the role of the hero. You play Link. And he doesn't need to gain XP to level up. He gains items. He gains a Master Sword. He gains a hook shot. He gains a bow. That's the way I like. I love to see a role-playing game get rid of the tropes that we've had for years and try something different.
Yeah, Zelda definitely has a lot of tropes.
So what would you like to see different though, Scott? Is it a change of environment? Is it a change of characters? What would you like to see in the RPG change?
If I would, in the wildest sort of dreams I would like to see something a lot like Fallout in a weird way. It would be a dystopian future, and the only way you can advance is through bartering, through diplomacy, by talking your way out of situations. And the only way you can advance your character is to acquire better gear. You don't really progress through talents and fucking spec trees and all this shit. You don't gain any experience. It's a lot like games like DayZ with the fucking permadeath. I would love to see someone experiment that way, not about killing 10 giant infected rats to get XP. I'd love to try and progress through a game organically instead of gaining XP.
Okay, so we're going on to you now, Travis. What do you think? What device do you like, and how would you like to see a sequel made of one of your favourite games?
Any minute before the end of the podcast. Come on, mate.
Travis, you there? I think Travis is having some technical difficulties.
I'm here. Sorry about that, guys.
Hey.
Yeah. You asked a question. Can you repeat it again, please?
Okay. What device do you like playing RPGs on? And secondly, if you could remake an RPG game of your choice, basically, or make a sequel, how would you do it?
Gosh, that's a great question. I actually like playing my. If I do play an RPG, which is kind of rare, I was doing it on home console because that's what I've been accustomed to. And if I were to make my own RPG, is that what the question was, or to remake one?
Yeah. So say for instance, which your favorite RPG is Final Fantasy VII. If you could make a sequel to that, how would you do it?
Jeez. I never really gave that much thought. That's a good question.
Well, Scott, you can thank Scott to that because he basically brought that up. But yeah, how would you do it?
Yeah. Well, obviously I would do a continuation of where the story left off. I'm sure there's still something from Cloud's past that he still has to finally face up to.
Oh.
He's a clone.
But that's basically what I would do. I would just do a continuation of his story after the events of the first game.
Please don't make him change outfits or change attacks. That would be awesome. Or
I think that would be awesome done in HD too.
Or singing fucking J-pop shit.
Well, I was gonna say I really like the thought of him dressing up in some of the costumes from Rocky Horror Picture Show, but that's just me.
Well, we've got a question here as well from Jeremy McDougall from the Happy Console Gamer Forum. He's basically saying the first game, which was Legend of Legaia 2. Has any of you guys played it?
Legend of Legaia.
Yeah, he's saying the first game was great, and the RPG was awesome. He played it all the way through. He's wondering why didn't they make a third one?
I wondered that too. I'm a huge fan of the Legend of Legaia series because the fighting system, it was like a fighting game RPG. It was a really, really good game, and it's funny you mention that because not a whole lot of people talk about that game. But yeah, I'd love to see a new Legend of Legaia game. That'd be awesome.
Tell us a little bit about the game itself, Sander, for those of us who don't know about it.
I haven't played that game in years. All I remember is, like I said, the battle system is what really sticks out of my mind. I don't really remember too much of the story. I just remember that it had a combo system that you could put in, like you had different directions that you could do all these different attacks. It was almost like, I mean, I don't want to sound weird saying this, but it was almost like Dance Dance Revolution almost, where you would see like the commands that you had to put in that you would input into a certain type of action, and it kept it fresh because you had the random battles, and I think all of us can agree that random battles get kind of annoying after a while, especially when you're just trying to get through a dungeon and you're almost at that spot, and even worse when games didn't have save anywhere. You had to find little safe spots, so you're almost at this little safe spot at the end of a dungeon, and you just keep getting in those battles. Legend of Legaia kind of rewards you with a good battle system, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, it sounds like the same combat system Project Crosszone has.
Okay,
sorry.
So, Craig, have you played this game?
What, Legend of Legaia?
Yeah.
No, I have not. But I do. I do when you're talking about the random encounter thing. I think it's great, like in games like Stick of Truth, or not a Stick of Truth. What was that? What was that game that was on the 3DS? Bravely Default. You can actually slow down the encounter rate to even like not encounter at all.
Yeah.
What's that?
So you can even stop random encounters entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna die and you're like, oh shit, you can even speed them up and get into more battles to level up faster. Which I think
just seems a bit of a pussy move, really. I'd rather have the game just denote what I'm doing when it comes to random battles.
But that's what I like about games like Chrono Trigger, where like you can see the enemies and then you can run into them. And
I always preferred that way. If you're gonna have like an ATB battle system,
there's no reason to have just like invisible enemies.
No, that's why I think that's why I like the Persona so much, because it had the same sort of style. Right. Where I could engage a slime if I wanted to, but I could avoid it if I wanted to. But saying that, I just had another thought of a series that, it still has sequels, but I'd love to see it on a main console and done to a grand scale. That'd be Dragon Quest.
Oh, Dragon Quest is great. Have you guys ever played Lunar or Lunar 2?
Yeah. Lunar Silver Star Story, I played that.
Yeah, those games are really done very well. I'd like to see like a comeback to that, or Working Designs do something new like that too. They did really good job with the dialogue, and the writing was like spot on, better than anything Square Enix has ever put out. And I feel like RPGs are like moving away from that to this like J-pop sort of like anime style.
They're now just following what's popular. There's very few companies now taking risks. The only one that was taking risks and nearly killed itself doing so was Atlas. All the other companies are playing it safe. That's why you have your Skyrim or your Elder Scrolls every 2 years. That's why you have a Mass Effect that follows the same arduous you have all those sort of RPGs that have to select 15 different lines of dialogue so you can get to the same fucking ending.
Like Mass Effect is awful like that.
No. Every game since, Star Wars, let's be honest, has this fucking system. Not even BioWare games. I wanted to play Kingdoms of Amalur so badly. I bought the game, and I stopped playing it within 2 hours because it followed the same shit that every other RPG made. And
yeah, I would actually like to see a game actually take like your decisions and totally change everything, in the story.
I don't want that at all.
The outcome. I would like to see at least one game do that.
I'd rather just go back to the Ultima style where they tell you what you need to do, and if you want to do it, do it. If you don't fucking do it.
Michael, have you played The Legend of Legaia? Have you played that? What do you think about them?
I've completed it, and it's kind of funny because the last RPG I just completed was Legaia 2. And you guys know it had a sequel.
Yeah,
wow, yeah.
I knew about that, but we actually got a message from a gentleman by the name of Jeremy who was saying that he's wondering why there wasn't another sequel to the game. Because you were saying about there was number 2, but how comes it stopped from there, or was 2 a recent one?
Didn't do really good, I thought it was a good game. Didn't stand great. The battle system is more or less the same as the first game, and they actually streamlined it so the battles don't take as long, which I enjoyed more because in Legaia 1, I just remember some battles taking forever, So let me ask you a question. In terms of game, what platform can Jeremy get it on?
Legaia 2?
Yeah.
It's on the PS2 only.
It's on the PS2 there, Jeremy. If you're listening in at the moment, there's your answer. It's on the PS2, so go and cop a copy of that.
And I wanted to say something else.
Yeah,
you guys were talking about Lunar and the great translation, and has anyone played the gem Albert Odyssey by Working Designs on the Sega Saturn?
Yeah.
No.
That is actually I picked that game over Lunar.
Really?
That's a game I really
That's a tough one.
Love a sequel for. I mean, I've never laughed so hard in an RPG in my life.
I know. Working Designs did the best dialogue in these games.
Yeah. And
they had the best characters, and they flushed them out, and it was just by the end of those games, you felt attached to those characters. Like they were moving.
Yeah, I think dialogue is very important in an RPG because they all play more or less the same. The NPCs are all very similar in these games. I've come to, but there are like the ones that do stand out. They have the humor, there sometimes pop culture references that make them memorable. And I don't think enough RPGs are like that.
Yeah, it makes you feel comfortable to be in that world. It makes you feel like, you know these characters, their quirks, their
right.
And that's where I think like Final Fantasy kind of diverges off that path because they're very like stiff characters, especially in Final Fantasy 13 games.
How do you feel about Bravely Default? I haven't got into it enough. How are the characters?
I haven't played it yet. It's on my list. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
So how are the characters in Bravely Default?
They're okay. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of skippable dialogue, but it's not. It's kind of boring in a way. I think the thing that saves that game the most is the battle system.
I actually don't really mind the characters. Like, okay, some of the voices, like Anya, her voice is kind of.
Are you going to remember these characters after you beat it? Are these the kind of characters that you're going to remember? Like
you'll remember some parts.
I think I'm going to remember them, me personally, because I find that as I've been playing it, I can actually kind of see all the different characters' personalities.
Yeah. Ring a Bell is probably the best.
Kind of entertaining.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ring a Bell.
Yeah, I love Ring a Bell. He's so much fun.
But I'm saying, like a game like that, you stick around with the same 4 characters throughout the whole game. You have to have good dialogue between them.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I'll tell you a game that I played that I actually had the real old school feel of the RPG experience. And when I say old school, I don't mean gameplay, but I mean that immersed feeling of being like you're a part of the game. And that was actually my first MMO. That was Final Fantasy 14.
Oh.
I played that game, and honestly, I had the same feeling playing that game as I did when I played Dragon Warrior when I was 7 years old. It was such a great game in the sense that you can make your own story. I would play with one of my friends. I'd play with my friend Amanda, and her and I would just go and explore, and we would just go and do whatever we wanted to do, and that's what RPGs are all about, and I think that's the reason why people love them so much is because they get attached to these characters, they get attached to these stories, and in this game, you kind of made your own story, you kind of made your own experience. So, I mean, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy XIV. That's probably the last RPG that I played that I can honestly say I really enjoyed.
And have you given it up, or do you continue playing it? Or you?
I haven't played it in a while. I was addicted to it for a little bit. But,
yeah, I had no Xander time whatsoever. He kind of jilted me. I went and played the game with his friend. It's fine.
Your fucking bromance does need a week off every now and then.
But no, I was addicted to it for a little while, and I hadn't picked it up. I kind of got to a mission where I had to get other people to join a party with me, and I kind of got I'm in a guild on there, but I was still kind of I don't know if I want to play with other people. It was just that was me and Amanda's game. That was the game that we played together. So I was just I don't want to add some Joe Schmo and do a mission. I have to have these people. I'm all right. So I had to back up.
Did you stick with them the rest of the game, or is it just for that mission,
Just for that mission. It was just a mission that you had to form a party to go through a dungeon. And it's just me being stubborn. I need to pick it back up and play it again because it is a very good game. I highly recommend it. If you have any sort of doubts on the Final Fantasy world, like the whole Final Fantasy 13 fiasco, play Final Fantasy 14. Even if you're not an MMO fan, just play it and you'll fall in love with it.
I do want to play it, but the thing is with me, I try to stay away from MMOs now because I had the same sort of experience with Warcraft. I played it straight for about 5 years. I found some really close real-life friends out of it. And that's what I loved about it. The initial, 6 months of the game was that journey with my friends, going through dungeons, questing, leveling the characters, just having a great time. And it got to the point where at one point, I ended up forming a guild because I couldn't play well with others above me. I formed my own guild. We started raiding. We downed big raid bosses. We even completed a whole tier of raiding one time. I know that probably makes absolutely no fucking sense to any of you guys in this room here, but it was just a great experience. All right, there was some real ball aches when I'm trying to run a guild, and I had officers as well that used to help me out, but in the end, I have nothing but great memories of it. But it's now scared me going back into MMOs because if I start in that environment again, everything else is going to get pushed to the wayside. So I try and keep arm's length when it comes to fucking MMOs.
Okay, so going on to that situation, let's talk about a game that I don't know if any of you have played, Ragnarok.
Yep.
I have not, unfortunately.
What about you, Michael? Have you played Ragnarok?
Online?
No, it's on my list of games to play. I own it. I have not opened it.
Well, for those of you who basically haven't played this game or don't want to pay for a server, you can actually go on to some free servers. Well, what they've done is they basically cloned the server itself. You can attach yourself. Servers. Yeah, and they have host servers of their own where you can go in there and make a character. And the thing is, there was one of the most enjoyable experiences I had was I started with that game way back when I was in college. Went through it, started farming. My brother was involved in it as well, so I was playing with him. And it got to the point where I had to basically join. It was pretty much the same. I had to group up with people to go on missions, to find ways around it. And it just turned into a situation where it just wasn't going to happen. It was... we had more than one situation where I was getting beaten up by other players. Some servers had a player versus player feature, so that it wasn't confined to a forum. So you didn't want to have a player versus player forum. It would happen in game. So while you're farming, someone could kill you, take all your shit.
That might be an odd occurrence because I did play it probably the same time you played it, and I probably was the one pushing your shit when you were farming.
Michael, just before you go, do you want to give us a few plugs for what you do? Is there anything that you want to, any way that people can contact you?
Basically, I'm just on Facebook. I'm kind of like in the background. I don't have a YouTube channel or anything, but, you know, I run my own personal training business, and I'm sure Michael can tell you more.
Of course.
You know, if anyone needs help with that sort of thing. But, yeah, just Michael Yanacito on Facebook. And I'm a big RPG fan. I actually do host a group on Facebook called JRPG Bros. So if you're interested in RPGs.
Sorry, that cracked me up then.
Well, there is one thing that people need to get involved with. Check him out. I've nicknamed him the Bodybuilding Gamer, Michael Yanacito on Facebook. He is awesome. One of the most awesome dudes I know. He knows everything there is about gaming in general, and he also keeps himself healthy and keeps himself looking fit. You're a competitive bodybuilder as well, aren't you, Mike?
Yes, I haven't competed in several years, but I do it every day of my life, and I train people to enter shows, and I've been bodybuilding for about 13 years. So.
One question before you leave. This is very important, and everyone needs to know this. Do you even lift?
Once in a while.
You should have that as your slogan for fucking RPG, bro. Do you even level, bro?
It's actually kind of a question I get asked in public a lot, and I like to joke with people. You know, they're like, "Oh, do you lift weights?" And I'm like, "No, not really. Once in a while."
I'm just very good at masturbating. That's all. That's how the maths will happen.
They don't expect that, you know.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Hopefully, we're going to have you on again, mate. Thank you for taking part, and we'll see you again.
Thanks, I had fun. Thanks a lot, guys.
Woohoo! So let's go on to that topic of conversation quite quickly then, guys. Let's say the one thing that would make, like, for instance, for sequel, we'll put it out to the panel here, the one thing that would make an RPG special for you. And Xander, you were saying it, the fact that the thing that you loved about it was, like with Final Fantasy XIV, you could make your own story, make your own history, and it's about you and the people that you play with. Scott, you were saying basically it's about, you know, leveling up, building your characters, and
not leveling up, just basically becoming a better player.
There you go. So, Travis, what about you?
Like I said, I really don't play RPGs that much, but to make them better, I must be.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know I'm terrible at this topic. But to make them better,
I don't play them. I hate them. But let's see.
Hold on. I did not say that I hated them. I just don't play them very much.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
No, that's actually true. And at the end of the day, what would make it more that would cater to someone like you?
Well, for one thing, I mean, I know that have this whole turn-based thing. That's how RPGs work and everything. I just would kind of like to make it they just lighten up on that a little bit, because what I really did not care for when it came to Final Fantasy VII or like Mario RPG or these other RPGs in the past is you would do your action. You know, you attack your enemy, then you have to wait till your thing to build up to finally where you can actually attack again. Whereas the enemy could strike you so many more times until you finally can get a swipe in. That's one thing I've always hated about it. But I'd like to see that kind of like relaxed with future RPGs.
Okay. Right. So Xander, what about Xander was saying about his experience with Final Fantasy XIV. So Sarah, what about you?
Oh, geez, what would make RPG better for me? Was that the question?
Yes.
I always like it when there's a really good marriage between good gameplay and a really good story. Because for the ones that I've played, if something's not engaging me, at least with the stories and the characters that I'm doing, then I'm less likely to want to play through it, like if it feels boring to me. Like more than the battle system and everything else. I think if the story and the characters aren't engaging, then I literally just stop after like a couple of hours.
I agree.
Or in the case of Lunar Dragon Song for DS, after about 15 minutes.
Well, that was bad.
I'm really upset. Like, oh, Lunar game, I'm gonna buy that. Nope.
Oh, I was betrayed.
Okay, just because you asked for. See, they're asking me for it now. I'm going to be getting sued by Spoonie soon. Trust me, it's gonna get to the situation where I'm just going to get sued all the freaking time.
Betrayal! Betrayal! Betrayed me!
There you go.
There you go. It's actually perfect. Mike's up. What would you like to see in an RPG?
What would I like to see in an RPG? There's a lot of things I like to see with like RPGs. I'd like to see more. You're kind of thrown into the world, and I think something kind of along the lines of Skyrim, but also a little bit less like repetitive look, and more of like you can just go into the world and like it's this absolutely beautiful thing.
So graphics or world building or
like being able to actually like be part of the world as more of like, or I don't know, like maybe the world feeling a little more alive, because I know in a lot of games right now it kind of feels like you're you just like everything just looks like pre-canned animations, like that guy's looping, that guy's looping.
Yeah, I noticed that happens a lot with more modern RPGs. Like it's a little more obvious in the older ones.
Yeah.
Than it is with like other things, but yeah, I can see what you mean.
And also, I guess another thing I like to see is like I'd like to see more games like Earthbound. Like I'd like to see more of the quirky games that
take risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, games that take risks. There you go. That would be cool.
Or maybe even some more RPGs actually take place in like modern times. Like,
that's why I like the World Ends with You so much, because it's set like now or like 10 years, 5-10 years ago, about when it came out. You don't see that very much. Like usually it's just in like medieval, more traditional things, or like something completely just not
super sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but it really depends on, I guess, the game itself. Like if I were to design an RPG, it'll be, it'll be like kind of like Skyrim in that it may have, this, or maybe like Earthbound, it may have that, or maybe like Common Trigger.
Yeah, fast moving.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Craig?
Dialogue. Focus more on characterization. I mean, less on like this like overworld or whatever. Definitely. I like when they make a mythos of the world you're getting into, especially in a fantasy game like anything like Final Fantasy. But definitely like the characters are the number one thing to focus on. It's what you're going to be spending your time with, and customization. Also, more customization, more weapons, stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, some of our answer got cut off. They got kicked out of the call again. But basically, we're just talking about like customization and what you said, like better characters and story and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I think the one thing I want to see is basically just RPGs, as Xander said, something where it has its own story, something that you can immerse yourself in. And I think the one thing that Xenogears had was it was really immersive. I loved that. I can't stop talking about how amazing that game is because I loved it so much. Games like that, Breath of Fire, etc. It was so enjoyable, and I'm hoping eventually these companies will get back to doing that. But we shall see, because at the moment it's just press a button, quick time event, as in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. Yeah,
you could skate through Final Fantasy 13 just by pressing X.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I agree totally. And going on to that, guys, I want to ask you a question. For those out there, what would you basically want to see in terms of your gaming sequel? What games would you like to see get that sort of treatment? Let us know. Just leave a message on the I Got Gameplay forum, or you can do it on our Facebook page at facebook.com/I Got Gameplay. Now, let's move on to the plugs.
Oh, you didn't ask me.
Oh, okay, go on, Scott.
What I would love to see, quickly,
Okay.
I don't want to be treated like a fucking idiot. I don't care about mini-maps, I don't care about waypoints, I don't care about killing 10 things repetitively. I want to be dropped into a world, give me a narrative, give me the gear and all the stuff I need to do to play the game, and then push me into the world and let me decide what I want to do.
Very, very true. So there you go, guys. And now let's move on to the plugs quickly, and we're going to go and start with Scott. Mr. Console Snob, what are you doing at the moment?
I've been playing a series of games on the 3DO by a company known as Vivid Interactive, who made softcore...
Alright, sorry.
Who made softcore pornography games on the 3DO. And I've been just basically riffing on them. But I'm going to take a break for the next video. I'm going to play some other stuff and then go back into the series and complete it. And yeah, I'm a retro game collector, but I also like to look at stuff that not really particularly on the radar. You know, how many times can you see gameplay of Sonic the fucking Hedgehog? I rest my case. So you can find me on youtube.com/GrumpyGamingHD, which will redirect to the Console Snob because I changed my name because Grumpy Gaming HD sucks.
There you go. Travis.
Yes, you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/RoseCarReviews, and youtube.com/RoseCarLet'sPlay. And you can find me on Thursday nights on the On Radio show. We came out with episode 3 this past Thursday, working on stuff for episode 4. Going to introduce some new segments. And just to let you know, this show is very, very lowbrow. We let our hair down. We talk about anything we want. We talk about weird news or just anything that's adult-oriented. And that's how we roll at the On Radio show.
And we also got a new segment on that as well, as Travis would usually say, where we talk about love. So if you've got any love advice that you need from either myself, Travis Goss, Clinton Davis, Craig Kellerman, or if Scott wants to join us again, Mr. Scott Bailey.
Well, my generic thing when it comes to love, if you're having problems finding a girlfriend, just cut your dick off.
More lube.
There's things you can buy on eBay. You can rig up to your Oculus Rift. You don't need a girlfriend anymore.
The rules have changed, people.
But anyways, yes, check that out. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And, of course, I'm here on I Got Gameplay every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And Tuesday nights, I'm also here on Mega Powers Radio. Not Mega Powers Radio. Fuck that. I fucked that up. Sorry about that. Well, I'm on Mega Powers Radio as well with on Wednesday nights with the Daceman Show. It's on 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And on Tuesday nights here on Retro on Lamb Network. There, I got it out. Sorry about that. I'm on the Untitled Movie Show with Miguel Leon and Michael Burhan as well. Check all that stuff out. If you want to find me on Twitter, Travis Scott 79 is my handle. And Facebook is facebook.com/TravisScott1979. Also contributing writer for fanboysanonymous.com. And that's pretty much it. And a lot of good things coming up.
Bloody hell, you might as well just make a Travis Scott website and just direct you all to there because there's like 15 links you've got to go through.
I know. I got so many things going on. It's like I don't have a personal life.
Craig.
Yes.
What you got going on?
Well, all right. So I'm also on the Retro on Radio show. I also have a show on Mega Powers Radio. We're usually on Saturday nights, but this week we're going to be on Tuesday nights. So you sports fans out there, I got a show called Sports Talk Weekly. So if you want to catch us there, we're on this Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. So you catch me there. And I'm also on Facebook.
Awesome. Okay. Next one, Sarah and Scott. What have you guys got going on?
Well, like I've said in the other episodes, there's still the Retro Gaming Expo in Vancouver coming up in 2 weeks today, actually. So kind of coming down to the wire there. I'm just finishing up the pictures that I'm doing for it now. And I've actually posted some of them on my Facebook page if you want to have a look at that, just my personal one. Pretty sure you can add me there, or you can find me through Berhan or Zandra, one of those lovely people who I am friends with. So I'm going to be there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's at the Columbia Theatre in New Westminster in Vancouver. If anybody is listening to the podcast and is in the area, come down. There's lots of people playing games there, selling games, other people selling art there too, but the first time selling things, so hopefully it'll go well. And Scott's going to be there with me as well, I think,
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to tag team and hopefully sell some art. So, you got anything going on aside from that?
I'm programming.
He does also programming.
He's programming.
Boom.
Program. Okay. Other than that, I try to be on I Got Gameplay podcast every Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern, or 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. PST. I'm not here every week, but I try to be, depending on schedules and everything. So, yeah, I'm around. Come find me if you want to.
And ask her where she hides the body.
Oh, yes, of course, that. I thought you...
She's a trained serial killer, you see, and I always send her out for people who don't listen to I Got Gameplay. So listen to the show, otherwise she'll come and get you. She may look small, but trust me.
Oh, Sarah, you've just been stalked.
Yes. Craig, Craig's done. Xander.
Same thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Well, you guys can check me out on my podcast, Excess Gaming Podcast, on Podomac.com, also on iTunes. I also have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/XanderScullion. And I just actually uploaded a new video of my thoughts of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. So you guys can check that out fresh off. It's still hot and steamy. And you can also check out everything from the podcast to the videos, everything on the Retro and Limb Network. That's retroandlimb.com.
You can also check out Getting Your Nerd On for Zach and Kyler as well, youtube.com, Getting Your Nerd On, although I like to call it Gyno. And you can also check out Getting Your Nerd On, Excess Gaming Podcast, I Got Gameplay, Nerd Genius also. You can also check out stuff from Just Sean as well on www.nerdgenius.com. Check out some new stuff that's going to be coming with collaborations between me, myself, Xander Scullion, and loads of other people, including Mr. Scott Bailey here as well. We'll be working on our first... I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a little treat that I've got for everybody, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome thing that we're going to be hopefully posting maybe one every couple of days, maybe one a week. So
it's a butt plug for your ears and eyes.
It is a butt plug for your ears and eyes, so that people can skull fuck you with ease. Also, you can check out Nerd Genius, youtube.com/The Nerd Genius. For some reason, I'm getting loads more subscribers. Thank you. I don't know why, but thank you.
Well, that check finally cleared it.
And also the fact my Anita Sarkeesian video apparently has now hit over 3,000 hits for some weird reason. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. People are just migrating over to it. So there you go. So yeah, great on that, guys. First episode of Season 2 of Movie File is coming this Sunday. So that's going to be starting this Sunday, and hopefully we'll be doing it frequently as well.
All over your face and chest.
All over your face and chest. And also, we'll be showing a first episode of E-Tank is coming soon. I'm just waiting on a few things before we actually start up on that. And loads more projects coming as well. Enigma Entertainment as well. Got a short film on the works. Loads of other bits and pieces going on. So there you go, guys. There's loads from me. If you want to check us out, facebook.com/IGotGameplay, where we post loads of all the bits and pieces, including Xander's projects, Travis's projects, Sarah's projects, Craig, Scott, everybody's stuff there. The Retro Island Network as well. www.retroisland.com, www.fanboysanonymous.com, www.nerdgenius.com. And as always, I'm Michael Burhan for Travis, Scott, for Xander, for Sarah, for Craig, and also for Michael Yanacito, who's one of our special guests on tonight as well. And just know that we've got gameplay. Have you?
And I'm fucking exhausted to listen to that. Jesus.
You should do. That's how I felt wine.
Fucking out of breath just hearing it.
Well, there.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Yo, what the French is up, guy? It's me, Haggard. You know my boy Cody and I just picked up the illest game ever. You better cruise over quick on that Metro City Express. And on the side, we just got the dankest stack on the planet. DC for life, straight out the pipe, hit you in the dome, every single night, yo, my them when we came of age. Yo, we set the stage, doing everything but dying. Never get first place in the race. Stop trying, spit hysterical lyricals that enormously your soul. The fact that you ain't dead is a blatant miracle. Trying to turn the game on, but it's giving you problems. Got the best technique, guaranteed to solve them. It's a must, gotta blow up the dust. Have the magic fingers, so no reason to fuss. Grab an old game, turn it over, give a blow. Put it in your system, turn it on and let it load. A few seconds of waiting, extreme anticipation. When there seems to be no response, it's infuriating. But wait, I saw it, that game's your dawn. You better grab a controller and get your Zelda on. Play hour after hour, try to get to every zone. Hope my beat don't bother me, I ain't answering the phone. I'm a black ass mage, cast my spells correctly. It's a critical from Ultima to fetch me more XP. Did a little damage, man, that point is mute. I have more strength than Zangief, and my punches through the roof.
On these beats, nobody can be tighter. I grip fools on mics like Deep and Street Fighter. I'll drive you to the ground, the sound is like a bomb. Take you to the next level like Mario vs. Capcom. Coming out with the ill lines like Pronto. Feel my lyrics when you hear it like a hyper combo. You're Tonto, and I am the Lone Ranger. This shit is X-Men, you're in the zone danger. With every verse I spit, I just power up. It gets worse and worse and worse until your hour's up. What you know about rocking the stage? I've been spitting lines for days, I'm famous like Johnny Cage. This ain't a phase, my power comes from my rage. I'm amazed, level 99, bitch, you're underage. My power on the mic is like spells from Dr. Strange. You can tell I've been to hell and back, cause I'm deranged. In fact, I swing swords like Samurai Jack. Must be crazy cause I never got my MRI back. Dr. Banner took a scanner and put it up to my brain. Prescribed me Thor's hammer, then gave me some Novocaine. He said, listen man, this shit ain't no fucking game. Go some cane, pick it up, the power is insane. I took the hammer, got the power of Thor. Odin bestowed it for sure, I'm hella hard in the core. Yo, oh, holy shit! Wait, I beat that bar, dude! Wait, dude, that was like 3 count bars. Yeah. Wait, that was like, wait, that guy had tentacles? Ridiculous. Did you see how many eyes? Yeah. Anything like that. Wait, oh shit, wait, grab the pen, dude. Grab the pen, dude. Wait, the pen, wait, where's the fucking pen at? Oh my god! Wait, what? It just froze! It just fucking froze! The game just froze! The game just fucking froze! Are you kidding me? It fucking froze!
Damn, yo.
That was